So remember, get a compost pile. Gonna have some visitors. See, last night that I had a visitor. I'm gonna guess that's possum. It went pretty far down in there, looking around for something. Man, it is far down in. My goodness. In any case, you will have some visitors, and you need to try and mitigate it a little bit, or your neighbors will probably complain about maybe rats or other wildlife coming in. It could be problematic. So here I have some stuff I might throw in. And though that's mostly coffee grounds, you know, table scraps, eggs like that, stuff like that, gonna attract some animals. But you can mitigate that a bit by covering it up with dirt, of course, or with grass. So I just mowed and I kept this out here. And, you know, just dump it on there. Make sure you cover it up. Really. Don't leave it out even overnight, really. Okay? It's gonna start attracting animals. And those people who weren't quite on board for the compost pile will definitely no longer be on board. So, be cognizant of the fact of a real live compost pile is also going to attract real live animals unless you turn it and you cover it up with layers of grass and dirt when you're putting food scraps in there. Definitely don't put, you know, meat, stuff like that in there, except in really small quantities, which I've mentioned maybe in other compost piles, or other videos, I mean. But yeah, it does become a source of food for certain types of wildlife. And I could say right there that that hole we were looking at, that was deep. I don't know, is that the snout of a possum or the long reach of a raccoon? Not sure. Could have been a skunk, I guess, also. Need to put a game camera on here. Potatoes, they can sprout sometimes. Sometimes I'd do compost piles in Northern California, specifically just to grow potatoes in the top of them. Get an incredible crop. Haven't been able to do that in Southern California. I'm gonna give it a try again. Yeah, other compost piles are kind of full. So I'm moving some stuff over here to the big one. Now that the family's seen it in action, family's definitely contributing. They don't always cover it up, which can be a problem with particular pests and vermin and such being attracted. So I've come up with the idea of maybe just keeping a pot here with some grass in it that people could easily just toss in and cover up, make a layer. And that seems a little hotter, huh? That's moving right quick. Grass not as fresh, but definitely quite a bit of green material in here, so it's definitely hotter. Got the fuel to be hot. But yeah, I heated a greenhouse with a compost pile inside the greenhouse. Of course, I had a heater in there to supplement, because the best I could do was maybe 3 or 4 degree differential between outside and inside, which, you know, about that far north in California, you know, usually most winters you didn't get much into the past the mid-20s, so an extra 4 or 5 degrees pretty much keeps frost off. But occasionally I'd have to put the electric radiator on, give it a little extra heat. But I had to keep turning that compost pile all the time to keep it hot, because this will cool down after just a few days, and you'll have to turn it to keep this temperature up, and it can get tiring, especially in a big compost pile. In any case, here I have big pot of grass, and just going to pour it in. Now it's a little less attractive to animals coming. You got a layer of grass on there, maybe keep smell down a little bit. Anytime you can, it's a good idea to be in the compost pile.